in the Kitchen with Jennifer Stobbs.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us, Jennifer.
Thank you very much.
We have another wonderful family recipe for you today because you're making what?
Enchilada Casserole.
And where did the recipe come from?
Actually, from my husband's great aunt.
What's his name?
Dave.
Dave. Where did the great aunt live?
In New Mexico.
Okay, so this is really authentic and a Southwestern cooking.
I believe so. She's not around anymore, so we've kind of carried it on in that way. So.
And you were telling me a really big selling point about this recipe, at least for moms like us, is that it's something that the kids love.
Yes.
And they're 1.5 and 3.5.
Yes.
So you know if they love it, if your kids are picky eaters, they're going to love it too.
Yes.
So let's get started. What are we going to do?
All right. First, we're going to first you want to brown the ground chuck and the sausage and the onions.
So ground
and that's
beef?
what's in here, just with some salt and pepper.
Okay.
And then you want to mix your green chilies in there. So we can go ahead and do that.
And these are kind of a mild flavor. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
They're
just regular old green chilies that are diced. And when you do it in the frying pan, it's a little more room to do it, but it mixes up really nice. And then what you need to do is you take your Monterey Jack cheese. If it's not already grated, go ahead and grate it.
Okay.
And then the enchilada sauce, you take 2 cans of enchilada sauce, and you can use mild or the hot. I usually use one of each. Mm-hmm. And then 1 thing of cream of mushroom soup.
So this is another recipe you can adapt and make it as hot or as mild as you like.
Yes, and I've actually made it with chicken too, and it works out just as good. And then just mix this up. Usually works best with a whisk, but you can do it either way. And then all you do is you start layering stuff in. Actually, if you can cut these in half, because we're just going to use them to kind of fit in there then.
Should I do the whole pile?
Yeah, do the whole pile.
All right.
We're using the whole pile.
And these are just soft
flour tortillas, yes. And you can use both the small ones and the large ones. These happen to be the smaller ones.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done the knife work before. This is something new. So do you like to cook?
Yes. Yes. I love to cook and try all kinds of new recipes and old family ones too. And all right, so we're just going to put a little bit of sauce on the bottom, just so that the stuff doesn't stick when it's all done.
And so it really doesn't, I mean, would you want it whisked up
a little bit more? A little bit more.
Yeah,
it'll melt and merge together with no problem, but you just want a little bit on the bottom. And then all you do is start layering, just like a regular lasagna.
Well, weren't you saying that's what your kids call it anyway?
Yes, actually
lasagna?
we call it lasagna because otherwise we don't eat it, but if you call it enchilada casserole, it's something foreign to them, so it won't work.
Lasagna, yeah, we like that.
Lasagna's fine, so I just use my hands. It's easier.
And it's ground chuck and what kind of sausage?
Just any kind you want, actually. This is just regular Italian sausage, but you could use hot. You could use anything you have. I mean, I use whatever I have in the freezer usually, so. And then we do diced up olives.
Do you do those in the food processor?
I actually have a food chopper.
That's
a simple food chopper, and it works just perfectly. You could do it by hand, too. Some cheese, and then some enchilada sauce.
Well, maybe I can help out with this part.
Sure. And then you start all over again.
Okay, so we do the tortillas.
Mm-hmm. Tortillas all over again. And just layers in there nicely. If it doesn't quite fit or you need to have some empty space, just cut one in half or tear it in half and make it fit. It doesn't have to be perfect because it all merges together in the end anyway.
Now, do your kids like to cook with you?
You know what, they haven't really yet. They like to try to help, so I let them get things.
So then it takes about 3 times longer than if you just did it yourself.
Yeah. So they like to eat it. We let them try to help and stuff, so get them interested at least. Oops, let me do the olives.
Well, this looks like one that it really would be a family favorite. Some of the dishes we've had today, like the seafood risotto, more of like dinner party special occasion
Actually, my kids would like that one too.
Would they really?
Yes.
Well, they have
They
very
love
taste.
seafood.
But this is one that would just be great. I mean, it would be great for a casual dinner party, but a real family dish. And this is the kind that you like to add to your rotation of what you fix for dinner every night.
Oh, yes. And it freezes well, too. So if you make it up ahead of time and you want to freeze it, you can do that, too.
So what would you do? Freeze it before you bake it?
Yeah,
or
just put it all together and put aluminum foil over it and freeze it. And
then can you just put it straight into the oven from the freezer?
Yes, and it takes a little longer to cook.
Yeah, how do you figure that out? I always, when I freeze things, I can't figure out twice as long, or what do you do?
Well, I start off like about twice as long, or about time and a half, and then I just take a thermometer and put it in the center and make sure the temperature is all the way done. You know, so it's warm enough in the center, like 150 or so is what I usually aim for. So.
And you can see how fast this is going together. And you serve this up with some salad, and that's your dinner, really.
And actually, as an appetizer with salsa and chips and.
Oh, great idea.
You know, all set with one dish and no problem. Oops. Like I'm food fly.
Well, it won't be as messy as the chocolate pudding, so don't even worry about it.
That's true.
A little olive flies here and there, that's okay. Now, does your husband get involved in cooking too? I see this is his aunt's recipe.
He does, but the only problem is he doesn't like to clean up afterwards.
And who does, really? Who does?
So I get that cleaning up in, so I don't let him cook very often.
That's why I always thought I wouldn't mind cooking if I were a professional.
You didn't worry about cleaning up.
You have your assistants to clean up after.
Exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't have a mic on. He can't defend himself. You can see how quickly this comes together. I mean, we didn't brown the meat on camera.
It takes,
but then, it takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah, half an hour total, and it's all, you can have it all put together with no problem once everything's chopped and stuff.
And then when we bake it, how long are we going to bake it? And what temperature?
Half an hour, about half an hour at 350.
Oh, so that's even quick to bake.
Yeah,
quicker than a lasagna would be.
Yep, and then towards the top here, we'll just put cheese.
Monterey Jack.
We'll just use the rest of the cheese here. And spread it around. And then there's a little more enchilada sauce, so we'll just pour it over.
And you've really got two nights worth of meals here, too.
Oh, yes. It definitely lasts more than 1 day. It heats up really well the next time around,
Oh, that's great. Okay, so we put that in the oven, 350.
350 for about a half an hour.
And then when it's done, this is what it'll look like?
This is what it is.
Now, do you have to let this sit after it bakes, too?
It's good to let it sit about 5 minutes or so, just so it can kind of set up a little bit.
But you don't even have to let it. I think for a little lasagna earlier, we had to let it sit 15 or 20.
Yeah,
so about 5 will do it.
About 5 usually does it. I'll just go ahead and...
And you can see how everything melted together, blending.
Use
that
my fingers
good.
here. And then we just use some of the cilantro. I'll get some cilantro over here. And the sour cream.
Now, do you have this? Did you grow this in your backyard?
No. Backyard's for kids. That's about it.
And we've got sour cream.
And the olives and the cheese and that, and we're all set. If you want to make it look really pretty.
Just like a restaurant.
Oh, yes. Doesn't look like this at home all the time, but... And ta-da!
Oh, that looks great. Now, we'll put a little on a plate for me to try before we take over the beautiful presentation. I can't wait to try it. It's one of those that is quick, easy, one dish that your family is going to love, and that's easy on the chef as well.
There you go.
Okay. Get my fork. Oh, that is good.
Thank you.
Jennifer Stobbs, Enchilada Casserole. I've got a little of the meat in my hand. We can't shake hands because we both have enchilada sauce. But Jennifer, thank you for coming out. We'll send this over to Peg. A wonderful dish that you and your family are going to love. Give us a call right now. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.